Oh hey, today's video is going to be very quick, very cash. Just a couple of things that I enjoyed during April. Side note, shout out if you've been around long enough to remember this jumper. Because I don't think I've worn this since 2012. Which leads me on to my first favorite. My first favorite thing of the month of April was rewatching my own old videos. I don't have much more to say about that. They're great. I'll leave some of my favorites here. That's why I've been leaning slightly whilst saying this part. My next favorite is English muffin pizzas, which if you're not cultured is basically when you just cut an English muffin in half, put some pizza sauce and cheese and whatever other toppings you want on there. I personally only ever eat margherita pizza, but it's whatever. That's a little fun fact for you. And then you shove it in the oven. I would personally recommend toasting the English muffin lightly on its own in the oven before you put the toppings on there, because a squishy English muffin pizza is not fun for anyone, but a lightly toasted one is an absolute delight, so have fun with that. Next up, we have a TV show. It is called Home Fires, and it's about a village in England directly leading up to and during the outbreak of World War II. So, can't really get away from the historical dramas, but at this point, like, I'm not gonna fight it. Just watch the show. Prepare yourselves for this brilliant segue, because while I was watching Home Fires, I was looking at one of the actresses and I was like, she looks very familiar. And I realized that it was because she was in an episode of a web series, which is my next favorite, entitled Two Housemates. It's about two housemates and the hijinks in which they become embroiled. Series 1 has been out for a while, but Series 2 at the moment is like, I think we're on episode 3, comes out every Thursday I think. I would recommend that you check it out. I'll link it down below. May see some of your favorites on there, and also Sammy is in it. Also, Geordie Shore is back, so that's a favorite. However, this series has really put me off Scotty T, and that's very upsetting because up until now I did very much love Scotty T, just because of how he sits during his like cutaways. There's his like one arm kind of out here, and he's like, and then he goes like that a lot. The next thing I discovered and enjoyed during the month of April was using a brown pencil eyeliner instead of black. Now hear me out on this one. I will never, ever, ever, ever use anything other than the blackest of black mascaras or liquid liners, but I've discovered that I don't need a black pencil liner shoved in my eyeball at 6 in the morning when I'm getting ready for work. The brown one gives you like enough definition. The next thing I've been enjoying is responding out loud to whatever I'm watching. I've started doing that a lot. Something that has brought me a disproportionate amount of joy is my pin board. You can vaguely see it behind me. But basically, I get really frustrated about the fact that I can't do anything to this house because first of all, we're not staying here for that long, and second of all, like, I have had no money. But then one day I just kind of cracked and bought a pin board and put a bunch of random stuff on it, and it makes me really happy because now there's actually something to look at in my room. I bought some plants the other day, which you can kind of see, but I didn't have those during April, so they don't count. Donuts were a big part of my April. I have also been enjoying cookies, specifically Ben's, specifically the dark chocolate chunk ones. Jason Derulo, always a fave, but particularly over the last month, have been loving some Derules. My favorites from his most recent album at the moment are Love Me Down, Pull Up, and Broke, featuring Keith Urban and Stevie Wonder. However, I cannot figure out where in the song Keith Urban appears at all, and the most prominent feature by Stevie is a harmonica solo. Still a good song though, although I do disagree entirely with the sentiment because I would much rather have money. So, mid-2012, Zayn was like everything to me, but then, you know, a lot of things unfolded. I was very disappointed on several levels, and at this point, I don't really know where I stand. It's a point of contention in my life where I stand on Zayn, because sometimes I'm like, love ya, sometimes I'm like, the fuck is that? Anyway, my two favorite songs from his album are Like I Would and Fool for You. I think I liked his suit at the Met Ball. I know I did not like whatever was happening with Taylor Swift. That's a different, it's not a different video, I'm not going to talk about it. I did a very good Met Ball tweet though. So, go seek that one out at twitter.com/Mattsource. Organization has come soaring back into my life. It is a necessity if I want to get anything done at this point, but my planner has come back into my life. My planner never left, because if you're familiar with my planner, I'm not ever going to show you what's inside of this, but It's a very, very important extension of myself. So the planner has come back into my life, and I've also started organizing things on a physical scale to a compulsive degree. So I organized all the drawers at work, I organized all the little boxes of tags at work. Basically anytime I'm not doing something, I'm like organizing things on a minute scale to a worrying extent. But I'm loving it. Love organization. Thank you, April. Tom Rosen, I don't know how to pronounce this. Rosenthal? Well, he's Marcus from Plebs, and I mentioned Plebs in a favorites video last year, but that show is back. Watch it. And I love him. And I've also been watching a show he's got, which I'll write somewhere which channel it's on. It's on the iPlayer, called Flat TV, and it's just like a really dramatized version of like him and his flatmate, and it's half spot on me and Fiona and half like nothing like us, so it's good. My foot's asleep, so that's why I look quite distracted during this particular segment. The royal family, just as a whole, overall, is a favorite from April. I watched a lot of royal family related documentaries. Following on from the royal family, the Moon Cult, obviously big fave. And the final thing that I enjoyed throughout the month of April was oranges. These ones are from Tesco. They originated in Spain. And you get 4 fruits in the bag. So hopefully I will get around to making videos that are not these ones at some point. But you know what? If I don't know, I'm so tired all the time. Goodbye. I've also been playing a lot of Candy Crush.